What's going on? Welcome back to Lawn Dude on Earth. Today we're going to get into the middle of the week topic here for discussion right after we cue this intro. Chit. Welcome back to Lawn Dude on Earth, where we talk about many various topics any given day. Boy, I can tell you, this is the first week with the kids out of school, and my goal has been to start early. Because once again, early bird gets the worm. So you know what? I started out this morning with every intention of that. Until I made a mistake that I shouldn't have made. As most of you know, I'm a preparation guy. I like to get my stuff ready the night before. Well, in my last podcast, I explained how yesterday went. You know, just one of them days that we all get. No big deal. Once again, I want all that pressure. Go ahead and send it my way. Because if I'm not doing anything in life, there is no pressure. And for where I would like to get in life, it's going to be a lot more pressure. But anyways, the one thing I did not do was fill up my weed control tank for off-target weeds. Well, weeds that's outside of the lawn. I'm talking about like bed maintenance and cracks and crevices. You know, I ordered, usually I do RM43. I did RM18 this time. I wanted to use that. So, ordered it through Amazon while I ordered my wife's tires. And lo and behold, I'm getting an alert saying it's coming this morning. I really just needed it tomorrow when I'm doing an infield, the baseball infield job. But, I have some commercials. It's Tuesday, Commercial Tuesday. So I figured, okay, let me go ahead and fill it. Now, I kind of hate going over this story because I feel dumb for how this happened. I know accidents happen and all. But as a commercial applicator in the state of Virginia, as a former manager of Lawn Doctor where I train guys how to, properly mix chemicals, where if somebody spills something, I teach them how to, properly clean the stuff off, the chemical off and everything. So you know where I'm getting at with this. I pour my concentrate in my 2-gallon sprayer, my RM18. It's on my the tailgate of my truck. So I pour it in there, no problem. I kept the top off of the tank and was carrying it over to the water spigot. Of course I got my backflow preventer on there. Safety first when you're doing chemicals. So I have that on there. And basically, I go to carry it over to the spigot. I don't know if I'm just moving too fast or what, because it was already like 6:50 something, and I was supposed to be out at the house at like 6:30, 6:40 something to get at the shopping center by 7 to maintain it before everybody gets there. Anyways, I walk to the spigot, and I guess the hose, instead of me grabbing the hose properly or putting the top on the container properly, like, I teach everybody else to do, and taking it over to the spigot, I kept the top off and I didn't secure the hose. So the hose gets caught in between the tailgate and the truck. And it kind of yanks the 2-gallon tank a little bit, enough to where I wasn't holding it securely enough. It hit the ground and splashed up, hit me in the face, hit me all over my shirt. So in that moment, I know this is RM18. So first thing I did was I ripped my shirt off and went inside the house, doused my whole top half of my body, flushed it in the bathtub, like completely flushed it to where I felt like all the chemical was gone. Took my shirt straight to the wash. And then, I read the label. I read the label again about, in cases to where you're in contact with the chemical. And of course, it said wash it off, flush your eyes if it gets in your eyes, put a fresh set of contacts in. Um, at this point, my wife was asking about the contacts, and I said, nope, didn't get in my eyes. But now I start thinking, I'm like, you know what? She's got a point. Let me go ahead and switch them. So switch the contacts out too. Even though it's just my top half that got hit, it finally dawned on me. I'm like, you know what? If it splashed and hit the ground, let me just be better safe than sorry. I changed all my clothes, got all my clothes out, took a full body shower at that point. I had called Poison Control because I said, hey, call them for, so they could look up, I guess, the chemical and tell you what's proper treatment. They asked questions, and basically the course of action, which I must admit came from my training, as a commercial applicator. The same training I was, using on other people over the years. The same training I go and do these CEU, these continuing education credits every year. I don't do it every other year. I do it every year. The same things they teach us came into play to where it wasn't even hesitation for me to do that. So what Poison Control said was everything I did was correct, and if I'm not feeling any symptoms, I'll be fine. If I feel any symptoms, whatever, give them a call. I can say, by the grace of God, no symptoms all day. This is the end of the day. So, I would love to be that podcast that doesn't mention anything like that happens. Because I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm frustrated myself. I'm actually pretty embarrassed. Because once again, I hold myself to the highest standard. And for something like that to happen is beyond frustrating and beyond embarrassing, honestly. But I'm not here to talk about the sunshine and rainbows. I'm here to talk about the low light. I say it at the end of every podcast, in that podcast outro. We're not here to just talk about the highlight reel. We jump and dive into the low light as well. That's definitely low light. And the lesson I want to basically come off of that is going to your training. Not even so much as going to your training, letting everything become first nature. Be prepared in the case of an emergency to where jumping into action becomes first nature. Not second nature, first nature. Because sometimes second nature is too long. Had I not washed myself off right away, I let that chemical stay on me, even for 10 minutes, 15, 20, however long past that, I don't gotta tell y'all how dangerous of a chemical RM18 is. Even Poison Control told me, washing it off right away was the proper thing to do. So that's just one example. Yesterday I fixed my wife's tire, knowing how to plug a tire, having things set up. I got plug kits in both of my trucks and in my shop to where I'm ready for that situation. I keep a spare tire on my trailer to where I'm ready for that situation. I'm getting better at keeping spare tires for all you like my truck. I say that because my box truck as we speak, I don't have a spare wheel. I do have spare tires after changing some tires. But I have a mobile guy to change my box truck tires. And he literally gave me some of the best condition tires that I had taken off in the spring. And he said, hey, God forbid you need me to change your tire out in the field because the tire can't be plugged or filled up. Take one of these so I can put it on the wheel at least out in the field. So there's that. the case that a piece of equipment goes down, I'm pretty well versed in that situation because I keep backups for just about everything. I do not have a backup for my 72, but I do have two 61-inch mowers I can run and go get. You know, I have the proper tools to fix just about everything I need to fix. I have a good mechanic who is always ready and prepared to jump into any, and I mean anything. I've had some ratty trucks over the years. Humble beginnings, man. I don't regret any of it, man. Because I wouldn't have got to where I'm at right now, this day and age, had I not had some beaters down the road, some trucks that had rust and old parts on them, tons of miles. And that mechanic jumped in anytime. Anytime I need, even to this day, I need him to fix anything, weld anything, do anything of that nature. He's always jumped in to repair. So, some breakdown, it's first nature to take that I can't fix right away, or I just don't have the time, or it's too difficult. It's first nature for us to take whatever down to him, whether it's my wife's car or one of our vehicles, and know that he's going to get us back up on the road right away. When it comes to getting my chemicals, my fertilizer, weed controls, all that, it's first nature for us to pick up the phone and hit up Casey with Landscape Supply. Know that they're going to take care of us. So what I'm saying is, always be able to revert back to your training to where it's like bled into your mind in the case of emergency. Because in emergencies you're panicking. So always be prepared for every situation. Try the best that you can be, rather. I've had some situations over the years, man. Back to those humble beginnings, I've had so many times when those trucks have broke down on me out in the field, pulling fully loaded trailers. And we had to get them towed, and I would have to jump into course of action of, usually I would have a backup truck at the house, get into that truck and hooking up to that trailer and getting a tow truck to tow the truck away. And there was a case before I got my box truck where I say, you know what, I got this brand new Ram, and my goal is just to go back to one truck as I was restructuring. Okay, well, back to another mistake that I made over the years was the winter I got this truck, I was preoccupied filling the truck up, man, one day. I pumped gas in it, and I hung the pump up, and right away I realized, oh my gosh, I just pumped gas in my diesel truck. I called my mechanic right away, and he said, just don't drive it. So I had to wait hours for a tow truck to come. My wife, and within this time period, my wife came and got me. I had my brother from another mother, Dom. He was at work, but, he has the other truck that we use. His truck we use on our contract for plowing as well. And it was my truck at one point in time, and he had bought it off of me. So I still had the spare key for it. And he was like, go ahead and go get it. At this point in time, he was driving a company truck, to and from work. So his truck was at his house. So I say all that to say, by the grace of God and having good people in my life, I was able to get dropped off by my wife to go get that truck, go hook it to my trailer. That day was when I learned I need to always have a backup truck, even no matter how new the truck is. So being ready in the case of emergency is key. Normally, I would say with backups, with plans, with strategies, with systems, so on, so forth. That's pretty much all it is to it, man. Got to be ready. Got to have stuff in place. It ain't no different from, just stuff outside of your business. Having backups, having, emergency plans. got to have systems in place, man. Got to have systems in place. Because in this field, man, long as you go moving up, I'm going to say it once again, man. I know y'all tired of hearing me say this, but you know what? If you're tired of hearing me say this, I would honestly say it's probably because you need to do something about it and act on it. But dealing with everything that we deal with nowadays, you're going to deal with that pressure. And when you're dealing with that pressure, you better have systems in place. You better have backup plans in place. You better be ready for the case of emergencies that can pop up at any moment in time. You got to be prepared, man. I've had so many situations this year that I don't even speak about that like it's tough to deal with, man. But by the grace of God, there's always a plan in place. We're always able to be, in a situation where we're blessed to make it through. But that's all I got on this one. You guys take it easy. And please, 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 I'm speaking to myself on this one too, man. We got to keep our heads up, man. We got to hold each other accountable as well. And you know what? If you're not a believer, I really suggest you get some faith in God, man. For real. Y'all take it easy and be blessed. Peace. Thank you for listening to Lawn Dude Unearthed, where we dive into deep topics, discussing not only the highlight reels, but we talk about the lowlight reels, the struggles, the successes. Anything we want to talk about for today, we will cover on this podcast. Once again, I appreciate you for listening to this. If you can, please give us a 5-star review. We are currently on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and still working on a few more. Thanks again for listening to us. Y'all be blessed. Peace.